Good morning. It's Saturday the 27th of June and it is the feast of St. Cyril of Alexandria. It's a misty Northumberland morning. Yesterday's very misty and cloudy Northumberland morning turned into a glorious sunny day. We didn't have the hailstones and thunder and lightning that some people had. And I don't know what today will bring. Every morning when we pray, for many weeks now, I've used as the intercessions two litanies. The litany from the Liturgy of St. John Chrysostom and the litany from the Liturgy of St. James. These litanies find their origins in the 4th century, 1600 years ago. And I use them because they encompass everything and they actually free me from praying my own opinions because I'm using a litany that has been used by Christian people for so many hundreds of years, more than 1600 years. In the prayers, there's a little bit about Mary. It's roughly the same in both of them. I've forgotten my reading glasses. Here we go. Remembering our most holy, pure, blessed and glorious Lady, the Theotokos and ever Virgin Mary, with all the saints. Theotokos, it's a word used to describe Mary. And it means God-bearer. God-bearer, the one who carries God in her womb. And this title was given to her and first used by St. Cyril of Alexandria, the man who we commemorate today. Cyril was one of those people, I think, who as Christians give us hope, because he was grumpy, he was fierce, he was passionate, and he was prepared to get into a fight for what he believed, maybe even a physical fight, but we won't go into that at the moment. And this word Theotokos, he coined because of a controversy that he was involved in with a chap called Nestorius, who was Bishop of Constantinople. And this was about the nature of Christ. How you describe Jesus as both being God and human. And there were two schools of thought. The one nature, which was Cyril, that Jesus is God and man combined in one nature, and the two natures, Nestorius, that Jesus is both God and man, held together, but in a way two natures. And there was a lot of rowing about this and a certain amount of fighting. And it may seem strange. It's hard to describe, really. Let me describe it in this way. When the priest takes the wine of the chalice and pours in a little water, he uses a prayer that says basically, as the wine and water are mingled in this chalice to make a new substance, really, so Christ and humanity is linked so that humanity can be saved. The prayer's a little bit more poetic than that, but it says the same thing. If you pour wine and water together, they join together. They're both there, water and wine, but they come together, if you like, in one nature. If you take olive oil and water and pour them together, you give them a shake up and they seem like one, but very soon they separate out again. Two natures, one nature. It's not a perfect picture, but it is a picture. And you may wonder, does it really matter? And people still argue about whether it does really matter. But it really mattered to St. Cyril. Because what he wanted to say was that in Jesus, God fully assumed our humanity so that we as human beings could share in the life of God. God becomes human so that we as humans can share the life of God. That's why the Eucharistic meal is so important. We are fed with the food, the bread of heaven, the cup of salvation, so that we can share the life of God in heaven. As I said a couple of days ago, also so that we can be equipped to go out and live as Christian people in the world. Because we partake of the divine nature. That's what Cyril wanted to hold on to. And the title Theotokos is not about how good Mary is, but it's about the privilege she had of bearing Jesus, bearing God to the world. And that might be something for us to think about today. I'm going on a bit today, but it might be good for us to think about, how can I bear Jesus to my neighbours, to my family, to my friends today? May God bless us.